Hello, I'm Paul Beckwith. I'm in beautiful, what city is this again? The sign gives it away, Toronto. I'm in front of the famous, I believe it's called Nathan Phillips Square. This is the city hall that you can see here. You know, beautiful part of Toronto. Normally it takes, 4.5 hours to drive here. Today it took a bit longer because it was basically pouring the whole day. You know, what we're seeing is, huge amounts of rainfall. I don't know if you remember, I did some videos a couple of years ago. We had massive flooding, record flooding of the Ottawa River, and St. Lawrence was at record levels. There was lots of houses along, damaged in Ottawa. In fact, a friend of mine was flooded out 2 years ago, and it took him a long time to get some insurance money. And, he's got all these plans to rebuild his house, but it's not done yet. So, the guy's brilliant because, if it gets flooded out again, maybe, he can collect more insurance money. I don't know. But it's becoming very problematic for a lot of people to live where they're living. If you're in an area that's getting floods, you think it's bad now, well, watch out because, we know climate is rapidly changing. We know that weather extremes are taking off. When the Arctic sea ice is gone, we have this blue ocean event. The first year, it won't take long before the duration of the blue ocean and the Arctic is greatly increased. And of course, the jet stream is completely shattered and fractured and broken, and it's going to worsen when there's no Arctic sea ice. So therefore, these patterns, you ain't seen nothing yet as far as abrupt climate change is going. And as the climate worsens and worsens, the politicians become more and more idiotic. I mean, you may, if you're, I'm very sorry to Americans for them having their crazy orange leader who is a climate denier. You might think Canada's a great country for politicians, but sorry, things are deteriorating rapidly here too. The Liberals, they promised great things when they got into power in 2015. They immediately, went to the Senate delegation, 150 people or something, if I recall rightly, spent a huge amount of money to go to Paris, to the climate talks. They were all talk, and that's what it is. It seems that it doesn't matter what political party gets in, Liberals in Canada, NDP, Conservatives, or what you're getting with them, it's always going to be climate denial. But with the other parties, there's a lot of talk. And I'm talking specifically about the NDP in Alberta. They're saying we got to build these pipelines. We need the support. And as soon as a party gets in, they change what they do. And of course, they were voted out recently. Jason Kenney and the Conservatives got in Alberta recently. So far right-wing government, climate denial. Promising to get rid of the carbon tax in Alberta as quickly as possible. With the Liberals in the federal government, they get into power, they waste a year of consultations. People say, we're worried about climate, we don't want pipelines. Then they do policy stuff, who knows, for another year, supposed to bring in a carbon price in 2018. Of course, that fails, and they say 2019, but that doesn't happen either. And until April 1st of 2019. Meanwhile, the elections in November, and because of other scandals, will probably be voted out. And the opposition party, the Conservatives, say the first thing they'll do is get rid of the carbon price. And then, of course, in Ontario, we get Doug Ford and the Conservative government voted in, and total climate deniers. You hear radio ads on TV. Doug Ford, he's got these stickers that are going to have to go on gas stations saying carbon price is going to cost you X and X and X, and we can't afford it, and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, they don't even mention some of the money that is coming back to people. In fact, most people will actually be ahead with the carbon price because they get it's like a fee and dividend scheme, but they could have introduced this about a month after they got elected in 2015. Instead they thought it would be a political winner election year, but that doesn't follow the history. They know, you have all these conservative politicians lining up at gas stations, and it's just total bullshit. I'm sorry for just sorry for calling it what it is, but it's unbelievable. The dinosaur thinking, the archaic thinking of Canadian politicians on climate change. You know, it would be laughable if it didn't affect every human on the planet. So anyway, yeah, things are, what can I say? Things are breaking down. It takes a hard emotional toll on people. You know, it's been hard for myself. We all have to deal with climate change in our own way. Since I live and breathe climate change, it's, you know, I have to find different ways of coping. I mean, one of the biggest things, methods for psychologically and emotionally coping with abrupt climate change is anything that, you know, stressor, is to compartmentalize, to sort of separate it from other things. But with climate change and extreme weather events, how do you compartmentalize it when, you know, we had a brutally cold winter, you know, we had a global warming hole, if you like, over North America all this winter. In fact, my glacier on my driveway finally left a couple days ago, and I still have huge snowbanks on my front lawn. You know, and this is, you know, I think some of them will be there actually until May. And, you know, the jet stream, there's been a trough stuck over North America for a long period of time. And this is why, you know, this is the area of the world that hasn't exhibited a huge warming. Meanwhile, torrential rain events, you know, the U.S. Midwest has been flooded out, and this is continuing. These weather patterns that are going on right now, that are causing, that will be causing severe flooding in Ottawa and Gatineau and parts of Montreal probably, you know, in the next few weeks. These are just indicative of, you know, these are the patterns, you know, as the pattern comes generally from the west to the east, you know, at 45 degrees north latitude, then, you know, it's flooding out the U.S., it's flooding you know, large parts of Canada. It's just, you know, getting worse. But the political, this political stuff going back and forth, it's unbelievable that in 2019, you know, with all of these extreme weather events and climate, we still have these idiot, you know, a-hole politicians. And like I say, it doesn't matter which party they are. If the NDP gets in, like in Alberta, they're pushing, you know, they're supporting tar sands. You know, we have Trudeau, talks a good story, supporting the pipelines. In fact, the Canadian government buys pipelines to try to push it through. What a total moron. I'm sorry, you know, how can I vote for Liberal again, you know, after this betrayal of trust? We thought they would deal with climate change, and they've been next to useless. We have the NDP, like I said, same thing. Conservative, of course, you know what you get. You're going to get climate denial. So that leaves only one party, you know, the Green Party. I was very tempted to run for the Green Party in Ottawa Centre against McKenna, but I decided, you know, I'm not really a politician. I like doing the science. I like the technical stuff. You know, I'm just completely fed up with the whole political process. And I think, you know, we each need to look at our skills and see what we can do to you know, deal with this issue, which may be, you know, and I must admit I've been down lately because I just say, you know what, we're just effed. There's nothing we can do. You know, it's over. You know, just enjoy your life. Starting to take, you know, perish the thought, you know, McPherson gloom and doom thoughts. And, you know, it's not in my nature, right, to do this. I'm, you know, as the weather improves, I'm kind of snapping out of this rut, you know, this down period I've been in. You know, I've got lots of videos, but I want to expand out my work to, you know, writing articles and, you know, trying to influence decision makers. And, you know, I probably will spend more time on looking at, you know, what can we do about climate? You know, solutions. I'm talking about carbon dioxide removal. I'm talking about solar radiation management. Talking, you know, slashing fossil fuel emissions. You know, what can we possibly do to maintain a presence on this planet? So, you know, a lot of deep inward thinking, and you know, but don't worry, I'm gonna, you know, sometimes I have a gap of if I have a gap of more than about a week on these videos, you know, you can say, Paul, hey, I hope you're doing okay. Come on, we really need your videos. I mean, those, you know, I do love the comments in general that people put on my videos. You know, I really appreciate people actually donating money, making to me to make these videos possible as I explain, join the dots on the nuts and bolts of abrupt climate change. Some good news personally, I'm actually teaching oceanography at the University of Ottawa. I start teaching, it's a compressed course, so if you're in Ottawa, you can find the geography, look up the geography department, look up the special topics course, GEG 3300, and you can attend my course. It's 2 3-hour lectures a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 7. And, you'd have to sign up with the university, but, this is great. So I read the entire oceanography textbook. Garrison is the main author. And, I read the whole book in about 3 or 4 days. And unfortunately, I can't locate the PowerPoint slides of when I taught the course in 2015, so I'm generating new PowerPoint slides. My last hope is that the IT department at U of O has that information. The university graciously offered me the course to settle a grievance, which I filed because by seniority, I should have taught this course a year ago. I had way more seniority than the person that was selected to teach a special topics course. They had almost no seniority. And so I just filed a grievance with the university, and so anyway, it's settled. I'm teaching the course, so I'm happy. I think they're happy. I love to teach, so you might know that from these videos. But what else is happening? There's some great news in September. I'm attending a conference called Summit of the Minds. I've been invited to be on a panel, and I'm being invited to speak. And what's significant about this conference is it involves about 300 people. About half of those are giving talks and are experts in different fields. And the other half are mostly investment bankers, the 0.1%. From all over the world. And, I'm really looking forward to doing some mountain climbing. This is in the French Alps in September. So, and I get lots of requests from, the media for interviews and stuff like that. But one of my biggest problems is how do you deal with how does one deal with all of the emails and requests from individual people about, certain aspects of climate change, and do the videos and have time to, live a decent life as well. I've got a family, I've got 3 boys and my wife, of course. So anyway, these things are figuring out, how to manage the huge numbers of emails and stuff are something that I can figure out how to do better at. I need to basically prioritize a bit better. But anyway, thanks for listening, and Toronto's, it's great. It's not raining right now. It's supposed to rain again, start continuing very shortly. Anyway, thanks for listening. Make sure you check out my blog, paulbeckwith.net. And, I really appreciate people that are donating to allow me to continue these videos. So what else was there? I think that's about it for now. Don't want to repeat or ramble anymore. So anyway, thanks for your support, and thanks for spreading the message about abrupt climate change.